Hello and welcome back to the Shout Podcast brought to you by me, Pat Carosa. And today I am going to talk about my top 10 favorite Buffalo Bills games of all time. I told you my first two, which is number 10, my first Bills game ever. Then went down to 9, which is the Kevin Everett game in 2007, where he was paralyzed but walked again later on in this season. And now I'm going to talk about my eighth favorite Buffalo Bills game of all time. But before I do that, please like, comment, and subscribe. I will forever be grateful to you because you'll get awesome Bills content throughout the year and also some life advice as well. So, what is my eighth favorite Buffalo Bills game of all time? That is the 2004 Bills Jaguars game in Orchard Park. And just a little background to it, the Bills and the Jaguars have had a very interesting history playing against each other. They took out two Bills quarterbacks and ended their Bills careers. That was Jim Kelly and Tyrod Taylor. Of course, Jim Kelly was more famous. That was in a game where they handed the Bills only playoff loss, at their current stadium, which is amazing. They have a really good record there, but the Jacksonville Jaguars, of all teams, are the only team to go into Buffalo and win, which is amazing. And then throughout their history together, they played some really weird games. We all remember the Doug Flutie end around into the touchdown, the my eighth favorite game I'm going to explain. But then even recently, they've had games in Buffalo in 2018 where there was a big fight. The Bills won, but there was a big fight, and then the playoff game in 2017 where the Bills going to score a touchdown. It was 10-3. And then even last year, the Bills had a game where they should have just trounced the Jacksonville Jaguars, and they couldn't. They lost another weird score, 9-6. So they have had some really weird history, some really weird games, and this one is no exception. And it had consequences later on in the season. So the Bills entered 2004 with a new head coach. His name was Mike Mularkey. He was a offensive coordinator with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Actually a tight ends coach, my bad. And he was in charge of juicing up the Bills offense. They already had a good defense. They had a top five defense in 2003, and everyone expected that to be the same in 2004, but Drew Bledsoe was starting to turn a little bit. He was getting old, but he was still effective quarterback. You could still win games with Drew Bledsoe as quarterback. And they had Eric Mould, so they had a okay team in 2004. Not great, but at the same time, not a lot of people were expecting much from the Bills. Obviously, they drafted Willis McGahee the season before. He was going to be a factor that season, but no one expected much from the Bills that season. Like I said, they drafted Lee Evans, and then they drafted J.P. Lossman. He hurt his leg, so really, the Bills were not looked upon as doing much that season. So they went into that Jacksonville game and they were actually winning. And I remember it was a beautiful day in Buffalo. Just a beautiful day. Not a cloud in the sky. The sun was shining. The fans were again going crazy, excited for a new Buffalo Bills season. And I was with my dad. We were in the front row. We were in the front row, 20-yard line tunnel side. And I'm usually with my uncle, my other uncle and my cousin, and I think my cousin came too. My two cousins. So we were all excited for another Buffalo Bills season. They started so well. The Jacksonville defense couldn't do anything, and it was just there was just so much juice in that stadium, and the Bills scored maybe one or two touchdowns, but they were ahead with maybe a minute to play, and I thought it was done. I thought the Bills were going to win, and I was going to go home happy, and everyone was just so excited. And it was came down to a fourth down and 12, and the Jacksonville quarterback, I think it was Brian Leftwich at the time, threw a pass deep down, and Nate Clemens had a chance at the ball, but he decided he wanted the interception. Well, then knock it down. So he tried to do that, and the receiver caught it. The receiver caught it. First down, Jacksonville. Even then, you thought, okay, the Bills are gonna win this game. There's like 30 seconds left. There is no way this team wins. There's no way. There's not a lot of time. They have no timeouts. How are they going to win? And so we were all excited. We were getting so psyched. The Bills were going to win, and they were on the 5-yard line, and they just needed a touchdown to win. And we thought, okay, there's literally 10 seconds left to go, third down, and the Bills are going to win. Incomplete. Good. Now it's fourth down, and they need to throw basically a short range Hail Mary. I mean, literally, if you really think about it, they run 5 yards into the back of the end zone and just throw it up there. And so I remember just sitting there, and I was like, the Bills are going to win. There's no way. There's no way. I mean, the end zones are as close as it is, so there is no way they're gonna win. And I just remember it was at that far end zone, the scoreboard end zone, and you got to remember I was at the tunnel side, so I couldn't really see regardless of what was going to happen. And really, he threw it up there, and I was like, okay, we're gonna win, and there was 3 Bills defenders with 1 receiver, and I was like, okay, there's no way this is gonna be completed. 3 versus 1. Someone is gonna touch the ball. A defender will touch the ball even slightly, but no, he caught it, and the whole stadium went quiet. The whole stadium went quiet. There was a mob scene, a tunnel side on the Jacksonville was mobbing the receiver in the end zone, and we were shocked. My family was shocked. Everyone was shocked. The Bills lost on the last play of the game on the shortest Hail Mary you'll ever see. And we went home crying. Well, not really crying, but we went home, and that was just amazing because I've never seen anything like it. Because from my vantage point, I'm like, there's no way he caught it and then he got his feet down. No way. Because, even it took me like 5 minutes to truly understand that Jacksonville actually won that game. And what stunk about it was the Bills started 0-4 that year. And they were 3-6 halfway through the year, but then they rattled off 7 straight wins to get to 9-6, and if they beat Pittsburgh, they would be in the playoffs. They lost, of course, we all know that, but if the Bills won that game, if they just deflected the ball and let it touch the ground, incomplete, the Bills would have made the playoffs that season, and there wouldn't have been a Steelers game at the end of the season that truly mattered. So that's one of the what ifs, but honestly, that was one of the greatest Bills games I ever went to because of how it ended and how the Bills lost so heartbreaking in one of the craziest scenarios ever. So that is my 8th favorite Buffalo Bills game. Bills versus Jacksonville, 2004. Join me next time so I can go over the 7th favorite Buffalo Bills game of all time. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Go Bills. I'll see you later.